to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome, and welcome to the first part of a 3-part series with the Hipdot game series palettes. The first part of the series, of course, as you know from the title, we are going to be doing the Ouija board palette. I really love the packaging, even though Ouija boards are kind of freaky to me, because I mean, you don't know what a Ouija board is. You like talk to dead people or something, you like channel them. We not doing that here. In fact, I was kind of skeptical about getting the palette in the first place because of the design, and I just feel like sometimes you like bring that stuff into your house. If weird stuff starts happening, I'm just gonna toss it out and sage the house and be done with it. So we're gonna do this one first. As other parts of the series, we will be having the Play-Doh palette by Hipdot and the Monopoly palette. So I'm really excited to use this one and the Play-Doh, even though the Play-Doh kind of reminds me of like the Crayon case packaging, just because the colors and everything, but neither here nor there. We are doing the Ouija board palette review today. So here's what the color story looks like. These colors are very pretty, although they're kind of like, they're like spooky and dull kind of. So I'm gonna show you some swatches and then we'll move right on to a couple of eye looks. So for the first eye look, I believe that we're going to go in with this blue shade right here, because you can't have a blue in your palette and not use it, duh. So we're gonna go into that shade first. I'm really excited to see how that blue performs. I have a stained blue brush here all ready to go, so we're gonna use this first. This shade is called Medium. I'm gonna start in my crease with this one. So this shade is coming out like very like dark purpley blue. I'm really like into it. It's very, very cute. I've never tried a Hipdot palette before. Normally whenever these collections come out, I always want them and I want to do a review on them, but I'm always like too late whenever I get to them. So I always like, oh well, never mind, I shouldn't even get it. But this one, your girl was ready. Like, it came out on Friday, I ordered it Friday, or it came out Thursday, I don't know. And they were pretty fast with their shipping. Like, it took them like 2 days to like get it to me. It was priority 3-day, which I didn't even have to pay extra for. So already Hipdot is on my great side with that. So now I'm gonna go into the shade, this Black Goodbye right here. And I'm gonna blend that into my crease. I'm thinking one blue side and maybe one red side, but I also kind of want to use the pinks and the greens. So I guess we're gonna get like a colorful eye look today. So not very much fallout at all. I'm not seeing any fallout. The colors are blending together very, very nicely. Like, look at this blue and black blend. So this Hipdot trio for all 3 palettes, at once it was $71. I didn't look at how much they were individually because I couldn't really choose which one I wanted because they all look so cute. So I just got all 3. So $71 is what I paid. I don't remember if I paid for shipping or anything. Naturally, I think we're gonna do a cut crease. I'm trying to figure out what shades I want to use for the cut crease though. Do we want to go green on this side or do we want to go green on the other side? Yeah, I think we're gonna do green on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this crease out. I'm gonna take a tissue in my micellar water just to get rid of like the excess colors on here. So far, I'm loving this palette. Like, I know I only used 2 shades, but like the swatches look good. I hope that they come out, they look as good on my eye as they did on my arm. Yeah, I'm just hopeful. I'm hopeful with this palette because I've heard really great things about Hipdot before. That's why I went ahead and bought the palette, bought all 3, because I was like, okay, I've never heard anything bad about them. So I figured they would all be good if I tried them. So let's just see. So far, so good though. So far, so good. I feel like this palette is like right on trend with spooky season with the Ouija board and the blacks. Oh my gosh, trying to talk to y'all, I messed it up. Ma'am, stay focused. But yeah, the Ouija board and like the dark spooky colors and everything is like right on trend with spooky season. I don't even know if I'm like ready for spooky season, like ready to like create spooky types of looks or even like a Halloween costume. I don't even know if I'm ready. I don't know, but We got time. So let's go ahead and go into the color Spirits here. And the brush that I'm using for this is a Morphe. I'm sorry, I don't know. My brushes are like a mess. I don't know what that is. I'm kind of trying to, no, I'm just gonna put the color Spirits here, and oh my gosh. This shade is like, first of all, let me just mention, she is a Fallout Queen. This one is a Fallout Queen. She's making a scene. She wants to be seen everywhere, even where she was not supposed to be. But that is okay because she is shining bright like a diamond on this eye. Do y'all see the shade? It is very, very beautiful. Oh my goodness. This eye right here is giving me life. That was the color Spirits that we just used. And I think we're gonna go into this shade right here. This one is called Starlight. And I'm gonna put that in the middle. I don't know, what do you call this? Like your tear duct section or like whatever it is, girl. You know what I'm talking about. So Starlight is going here. Starlight is not a Fallout Queen. She let Spirits be the star of this eye. She did not show up. She did not make a mess all over this side of town. She did a good job going on. She's spreading easy. She's just doing great. So I'm gonna finish on the side with liner, lashes, and mascara. You know the drill, and we'll move on. Now we're gonna move on to a different eyeshadow look for the other side. So I think that this side we are going to do like, we gotta dip into this green at some point. So we're gonna do green on this side. But I think for like the crease color, we are going to use these shades here, this one, and then the black, of course, to make it nice and deep for that cut crease. So for me, so far so good on this palette. I'm gonna go in with the shade Bored first. That's this shade here. And pack that into my crease. This color is very, whoa. I think this brush was dirty. I did myself a disservice just now because this brush was dirty. Yes, this was much better. But this shade is very, very pretty. I think that this brush, the brush that I used first, it already had black on it because this shade is coming out like super dark. But it's still a very, very pretty shade. Girl, what is this? I've been sleeping on Hipdot, y'all. Sleeping. Night night. So now I'm gonna take a little bit more of the black. Seems like the black was already in there, but I'm just gonna make it a little bit deeper on this side. I kind of feel like we might not actually be able to use that orange shade that I first talked about. Cause, I mean, it's already done. I should have used that one first. Okay, girl, yes. Hipdot. Where did you come from? I'm gonna cut out my crease on this other side so we can start using this green that I'm super excited about. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now let's move on to, okay, so I've got an idea. We're gonna use this shade right here. This is Answers, and then we're gonna use Are You There? Spooky names. Spooky names. I'm gonna go in with Answers first and then Are You There to blend that out. So let's do Answers first. Answers. Are you going to be a Fallout Queen? Ooh, that is very pretty. It almost gives like an iridescent shine. Yes, girl. This right here is very, very cute. Yes. Go off. No fallout to be detected. Let's move on to Are You There? Okay, so we got a little bit of fallout with Are You There? Not much to write home about though. Like, it's not nothing too crazy. I'm really into this palette so far. This is like a way better review than what happened, like y'all might have seen it yesterday with the BH Cosmetics Iggy Azalea. That one was a hot ass mess, but this is like a perfect turnaround because I am loving these shades. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this eye, and I'm gonna give you my final look, final everything. Okay, so what do y'all think about these two eye looks? I think that they look pretty good. You know, honestly, whenever I picked up these Hipdot palettes, I was expecting like a bunch of vibrant colors on like across the board, all the palettes, but I feel like these are more wearable shades. So if you were like looking at the trio and you were like, I don't know if I'm gonna wear those colors, like you just like not that girl, like you don't wear colorful looks, I honestly feel like this is probably the best one out of the three because the shades are like earthy and you can just put together all kinds of looks. Like if you wanted to get spooky, this black shade, I mean, as you saw from the swatches, this black lunar, this one is very, very like pigmented and very like glittery. The one whispers, this one's very glittery as well. And like the white, I mean, you can always make something weird and spooky with white. So I just honestly feel like this is a great palette for all sorts of people. Like people, if you like normal looks, like everyday wear, if you like something colorful, like slightly colorful like this, it looks good with this. Or if you want to try something more spooky and like something more creative, you could definitely do that with some of the shades in this palette. So I mean, if you want something bright and you want to get super rainbow colors or whatever, I would get the other one of the other ones. The Play-Doh one, like this one has a bunch of shades like that, and then the Monopoly one also has a bunch of rainbow shades. So if you want something more colorful, I would get either of those two, but I think that this one is more for like the spooky, the everyday wearer. Like this is just, honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't expect to like this palette so much, but I love it. I love the Hipdot Ouija palette. Now, like I said, if it starts getting spooky and weird in here, this palette will have to go somewhere else. It will have to live at somebody else's house while I sage mine. Okay guys, make sure that you're subscribed and you have your bell notifications on so that you don't miss parts 2 and 3 of our Hipdot game board series. They will be out later on this week. If you are not already, subscribe, girl. Subscribe. Join the family. Like this video. Let me know in the comment section below which eyeshadow look is your favorite, and you will see my face in the next video. You could definitely do that with some of the shades in this palette. So I mean, if you want something bright and you want to get super rainbow colors or whatever, I would get the other one of the other ones. The Play-Doh one, like this one has a bunch of shades like that, and then the Monopoly one also has a bunch of rainbow shades. So if you want something more colorful, I would get either of those two, but I think that this one is more for like the spooky, the everyday wearer. Like this is just, honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't expect to like this palette so much, but I love it. I love the Hipdot Ouija palette. Now, like I said, if it starts getting spooky and weird in here, this palette will have to go somewhere else. It will have to live at somebody else's house while I sage mine. Okay guys, make sure that you're subscribed and you have your bell notifications on so that you don't miss parts 2 and 3 of our Hipdot game board series. They will be out later on this week. If you are not already, subscribe, girl. Subscribe. Join the family. Like this video. Let me know in the comment section below which eyeshadow look is your favorite, and you will see my face in the next video.